Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome to the 51st episode of the somewhat Soviet state of chaos. This is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We are growing the city of Irinsky over here. The airport is coming along, well, nicely. Lots of construction going on over here. Lots of construction heading off in this direction. There's a few things that I want to get done in this episode. First things first is we do need a few additional construction vehicle type things, which I'm not too sure if we've actually got the blueprints for them. So let's quickly have a look. So if we're looking at excavators, actually if we go here, do we have excavators? We do not. Fire trucks, all of those things we do have, but we don't have excavators. So let's grab excavators. So supposedly, which one is the best one? This one is 18 kilometers an hour, 18 kilometers an hour. Level 20, level 33. I'm honestly, I think this one is better, even though it's more costly. I think this one is better. I mean, it's quicker, right, at doing the job it wants to do. This one, I mean, given those wheels, I would have thought this one can drive a little faster. Even that one is better. Really, even that one is better. I'm gonna go with the old one. It just feels right to me. So I'm gonna purchase that one. Let's grab a couple of excavators. Let's quickly assign a few of them. We will need to assign some people to come and work here. I'm just gonna give them a little bit. Let's build like 4 of them, okay, and then we'll start building some other things as well. So we've got some of these vehicles ready to go. Other construction vehicles that we need cranes. We don't have any cranes, so let's quickly see about buying some cranes. Okay, what are we looking for? Road cranes? Or just standard tower cranes? The road cranes aren't bad. They aren't bad. The Zills 1999 up to what time? 2001, that one over there, and then this one, yeah. So some of them are okay. To be honest, I don't mind the road cranes too much. The tower cranes are obviously better. Level 25 over here, level 25. If we look at the tower cranes, they are level 95, so they are really much better. So let's do tower cranes. I'm going to purchase that blueprint over there, and then we're going to assign ourselves a few tower cranes. Just so we have a bit of stuff available for our industry. What did we also need? We probably needed a few things like, hang on, let's quickly have a look at this. We have excavators, yeah, but we don't have the bulldozers and the other bits and pieces. So let's quickly get into that. What is it, bulldozers? What's that called? Bulldozers, yeah, bulldozers. So let's grab the bulldozer. And the other one is the kind of the snow plows. Oh, we need snow plows. Do we have the... Which one is the best one? 62 kilometers an hour. Ooh, 92 kilometers an hour. That's not bad. Plows at 30. Plows at 30. Oh, this one. Here we go. KMZ. That's the one. 95 kilometers an hour. Plows at 40 approximately. Well, this one too, but that's only 60. So I'm going to grab this one. Okay, the other ones that we would like to do is the pavers and the rollers. I'm going to grab the paver and the roller. We could also have a look at the US. We don't have money. We don't have US monies. We need the tourists to come in first. Let's get the roller. Okay, so now we've got a fair bit of the construction type vehicles that we can build and move around and so on. All of these guys have to go in here. That's fine. So we could actually just put a fair bit of them in place. So let's just make sure we add more of them. Grab a couple of those, a couple of these, and a couple of those, and that should give us a fair bit of stuff happening. Ooh, and some snowplows. Yeah, we'll get to snowplows as well. Okay, that's the first step. What I do want to do is I want to start the construction of some of these things again. Because I am thinking I do want to expand Irinsky, but I also want us to go off into the wild blue yonder. I am worried that we're not doing, not expanding the area enough. I want to use more of the map, build more cities over here, those kind of things. I do want to just do travel some distances. So we need more train lines, more train line construction, all these kind of things. Oh, I've got a lot of cars here, so I can obviously sell a fair bit of them all at once. Let's quickly... Ooh, a fair bit of construction going on here, probably blocking some stuff. Definitely want to get out to the oil. Now that we've got all of these private cars around, we need to keep a fair eye on our fuel. This is all happening. I wanted to check, do we constantly have vehicles available? Yeah, we have vehicles available over here. So we're not selling anymore because we probably don't have parking lots available for all of these. So I can squeeze in a couple extra parking lots, I think. Let's see if we can do something like that. Where did we have parking lots? Oh, it's probably a modded one. Parking. Is this? Parking lots. Here we go. So try and squeeze in some smaller parking lots is something that I'd be interested in. Not sure we can always do it. Oh, this was a fairly new arrival here. We could probably squeeze something in here. Yeah, anyway, that might be a little too much for us. Definitely something can go in here. Maybe something even a slightly larger. Yeah, so parking is in fact a bit of a problem in most occasions. We should be able to squeeze a fair bit of parking in here. Especially if we grab the larger ones and we connect them up. Like this. Is there anything else we wanted to do there? Well, we can do one of them over here and maybe one of them over here. That's okay, we'll do something like this. Hang on, is that that's the right road, right? Do something like that. Do something like that. Get those sorted in. We can see about... I don't think another one through here will work unless we put a road in there. So we'll just get cracking on those. We'll get that construction underway. So we've got a number of vehicles available. This is blocking the road a little bit. Do we have vehicles available over here? Yeah, vehicles are available. So what I think we're doing is let's start running the train. Actually, the train should bring steel into this area. Do we have steel available? Steel is available. All of the other bits and pieces are available, though I don't think we're delivering any of this anymore. So let's just see about running some of them off into that area. Why is this? This is taking a fair bit of time to build because we're building it slowly, and that's okay. Okay, let's grab the... let's just see. There's so many little things that I want to do and then expand. Oh, hang on. Before I do that, did I start work on this? Let's start work on some of these. So let's commission that again. So hopefully that construction will keep going. That's working. Okay. Continue work with all kinds of things. What's on here? Oh, this is just the crop movements. Okay, that's fine. And what else did I want to have a quick look at? I wanted to take the train and start exporting those vehicles so we can get that money up and running. Okay, let's just get a vehicle export line. So I'll continue the work and then we'll go here, get that's the vehicles. What was the vehicle workers vehicle line? I'm kind of tempted to do this, but what I'll do is I will just say wait until loaded here instead. I think that's the plan. That's what I intend to do. Yeah, so let's add it. Let's save it, the change like that, and I believe this train is connected. So let's start running that again. It'll move some of our steel down into back to the areas that potentially need steel over here. Okay, we've got a fair bit of chemicals available, 280 tons to be exact. Food is also looking pretty good. Our population should be starting to grow again. Right, it is doesn't look as comfortable as I generally thought it would be, but we've got a fairly, I mean, we had a few dips along the as time goes by, but anyway, that's okay. Now, I have built a large distribution office over here, so let's move a few of those vehicles in here so we can bring in some chemicals. Actually, chemicals we can bring in by train. Maybe that's what we do instead. Okay, yeah, let's do that so that we can start building those things. So let's buy one more train, okay, to bring in some chemicals. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase for us electric locomotive, and I wanted to see maybe about some of the modded track builders. People are continuously telling me in the comments that, oh, there's some track builders that work really well, so maybe we can have a look at some of that. This one isn't bad. That one, ooh, 160. It's not. It's we don't want it to be quicker than the rest of our line or the rest of our vehicles. So we're just going to purchase this one here at the 120 that we're kind of operating at. This one can operate at 120, but draw a little bit more. Maybe this is what we buy. And this is cheaper as well. And that's a similar price, really. So I think this one, the East German one over here, the DR class 2443, we'll buy one of them, and then we'll get some cargo wagons. We're just going to grab these cargo wagons. We just want to move some chemicals around. Let's get 2 boxcars so we don't move too much stuff. So it's a little short train like that. Okay, now let's set up the line the way we would like the line to be set up. So one thing that we want to do is we want to come in and collect chemicals over here, and then take the chemicals over here. That's it. Then from there we would like what else would we like to do? Let's leave it as is for now. Yeah, and to be honest, we can just wait until unloaded. So let's fill up the warehouse with chemicals, and then this thing can continue to do its thing. Yeah, that's fine. So let's just say this is the chemical line. Let's call it nuclear chemicals, because we're surely going to have more chemicals. Nuclear chemicals. And save. Okay, now let's assign. Just want to make sure we wait until unloaded and save that. Okay, now that's the way it's going to run through an area. Not exactly what I wanted with it, but anyway, we'll keep that in mind. Okay, now let's assign that vehicle to it. I do want us to get our own trains. Man, I want to get our own trains. This is the nuclear chemicals line, please. And now I can probably tweak the nuclear chemicals line to say, please pick up chemicals only and unload chemicals only, and save those changes, and we'll make a start over there. So now this guy is going to bring our chemicals over here. Still haven't seen a train. Oh, there we go. Train with some cars. How many cars does this one have on board? Wow, that's going to be a nice export. A nice export over there. It's going to really boost our numbers. Look at this stuff happening over here. Look at that. I like it. It's working. It feels nice and natural. All of these things are under construction. We can probably start extending our rail a little bit more. I'm tempted to bring in another. Let's do a little extra section of rail over here. So from here, something like that into that direction. Maybe we'll trim it. Ah, yeah, that looks better. If this is a one-way, the problem is this won't be a loop. So let's forget about. No, let's do it. Let's put it in there. So we can get started on that section. Get building on this one. We should get people building that one straight away. So we'll do that. We'll need some roads out here, but these roads are all under construction. Lots of construction going on. Nice. That is working fairly well. Okay, what I want to do is get a few more hotels up and running. So if we go into our tourism area, what kind of hotels do we have? City hotels are probably going to be the best for us in this instance. So city hotels, small hotels, and mountain hotels. I'm not going to do the Mountain Hotel over here. I'll just continue to do some city hotels. We'll continue that kind of along the shoreline over here. So we'll find ourselves another... Oh, we don't have this area powered. So where would we get it powered? We do need to bring in some more power, I think. So if we, let's say, if we do this, right? We should be able to get... Actually, that's not bad. Let's squeeze a hotel in here somewhere. I think that's going to work really nicely. And then what we'll do is we'll see about bringing another one in here. Yeah, that's good. That is really good. Now let's get a road going in here. So a little something that we point into this direction over here, I think is going to be okay. If we do that, then we should be able to tie these guys in. Okay, that's fine. Let's get that section of road built. That's going to be good. So get a couple of extra hotels up and running in this area. Ooh, what we do need to do is let's probably get some trees out over here. So let's get a few pines just along this section here, so that we it's a nicer natural environment here. Let's mix that up with a few beech trees. Though the beech trees look about the worst of all of the trees, I think. Actually, these acacias don't look too nice either. Let's zoom this down here, and we'll try and place a few of these poplar trees just alongside the edge here. Yeah, that kind of works. There we go. Just a few like that. I'm not sure that side will work. Just wanted to try and make it as nice as possible. Yeah, it's not going to really work to do it that way. There we go. Something like that. There we go. A few extra trees in the area should help things along pretty nicely. Have we got this built? My goodness, that's built, right? Really, really quickly done. Okay, now what I need us to do is I'm thinking a switch. No, we do have a switch over here. Yeah, so that's fine. We'll just get it to build that section. Let's continue with track building. It probably, to be honest, it probably needs a bit of a signal over here, and to be honest, probably a mixed signal. Let's send some mixed signals. If we get a mixed signal in over there, similarly, let's get a mixed signal in on that side. That should be okay. That should help the whole construction of this section a bit more. And now the intention is just let's switch on the wireframe, so we try and keep it nice and straight. So we Nah, forget about it. Forget about the wireframe. The wireframe is just going to confuse things. It will, however, show us where not to go. So let's go ahead and run the train line straight for another section through there. And what I was kind of thinking, we can then try and run a new main line that runs along the river here. This is kind of what I'm thinking, so that you don't necessarily have to run through Irinsky all the time. That's kind of the intent. So I want to do maybe a proper line section through here. We can do more exports in this area. That would actually work really nicely. So let's continue to straighten with a nice straight section through here. That should give us enough spot. Let's zoom in here. That should give us enough room for whatever we want to do alongside our nuclear power plant. And then what I need to do is I want to run a rail line, maybe not on the river, but something like this as a starting point. Like so. And I want to keep it tight. I don't want it to be a massive... Yeah, I want to keep it tight. I want it... somehow I don't like the big... the big interchanges. That's wrong, actually. That is wrong. Let's trim that section back. That is in fact wrong. Let's do this side first, so we get a bit of a look and feel for that. And this one over there, and this one over there. So that gives us a nice tight little interchange over here. Maybe it's too tight. Maybe we should have it less tight than that. But to be honest, I like that a fair bit. So what I want to do here is I want to make sure that we've got a switch in here. That would be good. And we could, what we'll need to do with that is just need to make sure that we've got some stuff at least going on over here. So this needs to be like a chain, right? We'll do a mixed. If we'll do that, I think that's okay. Now these long sections can be built. We'll see how that works. Yeah, let's get going on this. Yeah, I want to do a little something like that. I think that should be... Ooh, actually, probably you don't want those because you want this guy to... Oh, no, it's a chain. So it needs to be cleared out on the other side. So that will kind of work. Let's get cracking on the construction of that. Hopefully that'll work fairly well. Good stuff. What I don't want is multiple trains to come from here. Actually, work has not been assigned for this one. Let's... what's going on here? Yeah, just slow going through there. How's our money? Money is starting to boost up a little. Got vehicles available for everybody. We're probably building some of these things. Yeah, people are already parking here. We don't have power over here, I think. What's the... Oh, no, we brought in power. That's the one. Oh, construction at the airport is looking nice. How's construction going with this road here? I believe that should be moving. Yeah, that's moving. I would like to get that built so we can continue to work on the highway and move the highway forward. How is this construction going on? Fairly slow if we're just building little sections at a time. Oh, that section is almost done. I mean, fairly slow if you're building long sections at a time, it seems. But anyway, that's fine. Do we have chemicals over here? We, in fact, have chemicals over here. So this should be no resource missing UF6. That's fine. This should be providing UF6 at the moment. Operating without any concerns. It's not actually pushing the UF6 through, is it? We should be able to get UF6 in there, guys. We can't select what's happening. So it's not pushing the UF6 into that. So we'll need to get our UF6 moved over at least. So let's get a truck over here. So that'll be a flatbed. Let's pop in here, do a little bit of micromanagement with regards to our vehicles. So let's go ahead and rebase you over there. And another, we'll rebase you over here. We'll move you over here. Okay, move those guys out. We want some flatbeds, open hole. So let's move you over here. I believe that should be sufficient for our initial work here. Question is, do we need more people? Let's get another parking lot over here. Do we need more people to get on the train to go over that way? We'll have a look at that. See if we can do something about it. I want to try and squeeze in 2 parking lots over here. That's okay. We don't necessarily need them all to be tied in. Now, if we go back to roads, we need to do that. Can we... What I'm trying to do is find an appropriate kind of road layout for this guy. Yeah, that's fine. We'll get those sorted out. That'll be the parking situation here. At the same time, we'll start looking at tying this one in over here. And I'm assuming we won't be able to get out of here at all. We could see about something like this that works. Yeah, that's not going to tie in. Not going to tie in. So what we'll need to do is let's just we'll tie it in over there. So let's get those assigned. It's not ideal, but that's okay. We'll get a couple of parking spots over there. Maybe get a few trees in this area. I wanted to tree this thing all up. Oh, another fire has been extinguished. There's a lot of people waiting for trains. We just don't have the trains. Actually, the trains are not keeping that alignment. So let's quickly pop in here. I've enabled cheats to get the line spacing back up and running. So with all of these guys, there should be a fair bit of uranium oxide being produced. Yes, and there should be a fair bit of UF6 being produced. 4.5 tons thus far. And we've got a vehicle available over here now. So now, what we'll say. Oh, you know what? I don't think we can do this. I don't think we can say to this guy to move vehicles through the distribution. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just assign a little line to it. So, which is not ideal. Honestly, it's not ideal. Anyway, the UF6 is being produced at a pretty rapid rate. We're doing about full-on production of UF6 at the moment, so the containers are filling up. I'm kind of wondering whether I just don't let it kind of fill up over there and then it moves over here naturally. How much containers can we actually... How many containers? It seems like it's got room for a lot of containers, so we're not going to be able to produce the nuclear fuel for quite some time. So what I think we do is let's set up a line for that vehicle. Let's quickly do that. So we've got a truck line, new line. We just do this. We just call this the UF6 move. Okay, so we'll drop that one in. We'll save it, and now we'll say, come on over here, and then go over there. What you want to do is you want to load, and then you want to not unload. I mean, actually not unload, and over here you don't want to load, you want to unload and wait until unloaded, and we'll say do that. Nice, that's the thing. So let's grab this vehicle. I hope we can assign it. Okay, that's not going to happen. So let's bring this guy back over here. Instead, we'll assign a new vehicle to the mix. Bring you in that way, and we'll get a new vehicle to go and do the UF6 thing. Set line to UF6 move. Okay, now with that vehicle in place, what we can do is we can come in here and say, guys, you want to... Why can't we pick up vehicles? Let's do it and see what's happening with it. Why don't we have any engineers? We don't have any workers over there. Going on. Anyway, we'll get back to it. Let's start it out and see what's happening. Launch it, see what that actually does. How's our vehicles going over here? Oh, tons of vehicles being sold. Tons of vehicles being sold over the border. Construction of the airport is looking pretty nice. This road is moving. Lots of little road sections being built. That thing I think is done. Okay, so let's quickly pop in these little sections over here. Like so, we'll get them built so that we can get the new areas here done. What I definitely want to do is run a bit of a So let's see. If we say we're going to run something through here, yeah, I'm not sure that's going to work. So we'll have to... So that'll work. Then we'll tie this one in over here. And we'll tie that one in there. And we probably need to... Oh, this doesn't actually want to work. So what we'll do is we'll also tie that one like so. But we won't actually... Don't do that one now, because I do get all kinds of weird stuff happening if you do that. So let's get going on this. And then those construction pieces can go. Okay. We probably need more room for people to live. And how's our population going? Our deaths is again worse than it should be. Let's quickly have a look at what is going on with things like our food situation. We've got food. Food is available pretty well. Oh, I needed to set this one up. Yes. Yes. Food is dropping low over here. Food is available over here and over there. Okay. The one thing that I did start realizing is that a lot of people aren't getting food just because there's not a lot of places for them to get food. See, a lot of people aren't getting food here. So with this thing now up and running, what we certainly need to do is set up some drop-offs over here happening to people, for people to get the various things they need. These guys can pick up all the electronics and stuff that they need, right? Yeah, it does all of that. So let's just assign this new... What? Cannot assign more buildings. No! That's not good. That's not good. We can't assign more buildings to it. Okay, well, let's build another. I'm quite happy to do multiple of these kind of facilities. Okay, modded distribution centers, distribution offices. I do want the large one. It's this one, right? Though this area has a bus stop, so we could probably do a bit of a better job using this area. Let's try and get distribution office in here. We will need a buffer zone, right? So this area is fairly naked at the moment in terms of constructions and buildings and things. So we'll need a bit of a buffer zone here. I do like the idea of just adding that one in there. And maybe, you know what we'll do? We'll actually get the road from the other side. Let's do that. Build and get another one built. Is that what we definitely don't want to get too close to that one, so we'll do maybe up to about here, and then we'll move it in to do something like that. Yeah, I think that's going to be about right. We'll tie this one in. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Come on. Let's try that again. Move it a little bit further away. Do something like that instead. Now that's okay. Tie this in now. Now it'll work. Do that. Get that built, please, guys. What's going on over here? Are we moving these along? Oh yeah, that's it's moving nicely. That section of road's being done. Okay, now let's move some of these vehicles. These can't move. We'll have to send vehicles to pick them up. That's an interesting one. What's being built here at the moment? More rollers? No, we've got enough rollers, I think, at the moment. Let's cancel production and switch it off just for a little bit of time. Oh, probably snow plows and stuff we do need. Ooh, maybe let's build another. I wanted to build another like construction office over here somewhere, because that's very nicely located on the highway. So if we do a construction office over here, but let's get some of those things built first, and then we'll see how that goes. We are moving a fair bit of stuff. Look at this! Look at this! Look at that! Good, good. Let's quickly have a look at what is happening with our fuel. Where are you trying to go? Sometimes, you know what happens? Large parking. You know what happens? this continues to happen. So let's move over there. So what does happen is this little road thing gets built. That road is not built. So what I'm going to do is just going to pay for these two. So never ever connect your footpaths before you connected your roads, because that results in a big mess over here. Now these guys will kind of figure out how they can get to their places, right? No? Come on. Oh, there's a little section here. Do that. Now you'll see they'll all go. There they go. That's what you, be careful for that, guys. Be very careful for that. Okay, what is happening? Nice, that's full. We are producing nuclear fuel. Guys, nuclear fuel is being produced. We have nuclear fuel being produced over here, which is great. It's going to be some time before we've got the nuclear up and running, though. But nuclear fuel is being produced. And the rail construction is moving. Not brilliantly quickly, but it is moving. So I want to just run this rail along here. We can probably not going to run it along the river there. We'll twist it in here. And then we might have to do a little section of tunnel and run it out into that direction. Okay. What are we going to do in the next part of this episode? I want to set up our rail production line. So the rail production line, I was thinking we'll just extend what we've got here and put the rail production line in place. So if we go to engineering industry, airplane production, dry dock, and the railway production, I'm just going to do, I think, the one facility. Yeah, I'm just going to do the one facility, I think. So if we start off by doing... Now, the alternative is we do it on this side, and we can make use of this very same station, and probably not have too much problems with the rest of this. Okay, let's try that. If we do this... If we do that, we're going to be able to pick up power here. It's going to be fairly close by to everything that's happening. We just need to make sure. So what does this actually take? This takes all the same things. So we just need to make sure that we've got another set of these warehouses available over here. And that leaves us with the rest of this area to do more vehicle storage and things, because I'm also going to have to do a depot. So let's do that. That should provide an area for it to... People should be able to walk to it. So let's see about getting that working. I'm just thinking there's a bit of a dip there, so we'll have to see how we deal with the rail through there. Almost got that sorted. It's a big construction actually. So now with that in mind, let's try and level around it a little bit more. I'm pretty keen to get some of these things leveled appropriately. Okay, that's okay. Let's not pop it in just yet. So let's get out of there. And now what I want to do is let's try and level terrain height from the center. And if we take like the center over there, can we... It's basically to try in an attempt to try and smooth it out a little. But if we do this, we're trying to drop it down a bit. Is that an easier way of doing it? Not really. I'm just trying to get a lot of this leveled out a bit more, so it's not such an abrupt drop. Okay, let's look how that works. If I put the wireframe on, yeah, it's still pretty abrupt, really. Is there a smoothing function or something? Like, let's average it out a little bit. Something like that, maybe. Okay, let's see if that's sufficient to get that to work. Now, let's get the rail production facility up and running over here. Okay, so if we do this as our rail production, let's switch off the wireframe for a second. So we definitely want, so the things we need an open storage and we need a warehouse. So let's go get our standard storages up and running. Open storage, but also a warehouse, and probably if we do it on this side, we won't be able to get, we'll need one on the one side, one on the other side. That's effectively what we're saying over here. So if we do something like this, we'll get the open storage on the one side, get it in about as far as we can go. So if we do that, that's the one. Then we need the warehouse on the other side. Probably in as far as we can go with that one as well. Something like that. There we go. That's not too bad. Now let's quickly have a look at some rail connections. Oh, the one thing that I am missing, however, is modded railway depot. Right? Railroad construction office, rail performer. What am I looking for? Depots? Train depot. A long one, a large rail depot. I'm not sure. Oh, this is this one. That's not bad. And then that's that one. I actually like this one a little bit more. Now, what we need to do is probably just find out how we're going to get vehicles in there. We may have to bring it out over here. Just see what's going on with our rail. So will we bet a new rail, or will we just kind of tie it off on that side? So should we rather do something like this instead? What's this one? How are these two different? Updated. Well, we're definitely doing the updated one then. So what we can do is we can just kind of squeeze it in here, noting full well that if we do that, we need a number of rail connections in this area to make that work. It's not going to be an easy loop. Okay, so let's go back to our rails. Let's say what we'll do is we're going to run. Let's run. So run a little bypass track through here that will be used to tie in there, really. Okay, so let's extend, well, let's get we'll double track this bypass. And we'll do a little something like that. I think that should be reasonable. Okay, so we'll do something like this. I'm thinking we'll maybe do a switch. I wanted to do a little something like this over here. Let's start from the inside. Too steep. Yeah, that doesn't seem to want to work to try and do this. Okay, let's go back. Let's trim some of these things here. So maybe this is not the ideal plan. We can put the rail depot over here as well, guys, so that we make use of whatever this is, and we try and not build it up onto the hill here. There's not much of a hill, to be honest. There's not much of a hill. It doesn't look like it's a big problem. Okay. Go back and get the rail depot. Rail depot, the updated one, please. This one. So now the question is, do we just go ahead and probably do this? So if we do that, right, can we... So this area will be pretty messed up in terms of what we can actually squeeze in here. But I think it kind of works, right? So if we do that, turn is too sharp. Ah, that was close. Come on, that almost worked. Forget about that one. Let's try this one. Bring it forward as best we can. But what I also want to do is I want to try and squeeze it in. So we have one that goes to both. It's not want to do that for us, does it? Can do this one, and then what we'll do is we'll do that, right? So it looks 3 in 2 out kind of situation. We don't need all of these to be connected, so what we'll say is we'll get one of these guys to go off that way, and we want this guy to be able to go in here. Shall we do that? Oh, actually, that does work. That works. It's going to be creative signaling. Something like that, guys. How about that? They'll get in that way and go out this way. We don't... That piece of rail track there is only going to be to move trains to the depot here, and then on this side we'll also get them to come on out. But that doesn't look too bad. Okay, now let's extend. Oh, let's extend a little bit like this. We'll see about smoothing that one out. Actually. Start off with this one. We'll bring it in. Will we do something like this though? I like the idea of doing that. Let's do that. And now, shall we... Alternatively, what we could do is we could get these guys off of here. I think that'll work, actually. I just don't know how we're going to make it work. That's okay. They don't want to do this little section through there. It's a little steep for them. Can we switch on the wireframe and sort that out a little bit? Can we see about smoothing it out a tad here? Not sure that's being helpful. I think it's this little thing right here. So we may have to just see about what we can do there. Let's try that again though. Can we do a one-way little thing in here. Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. Now, the one thing that I just wanted to check, can we redo that piece and get them to all work nicely? We can. Look at that. Look at that. So they'll be in this way and then out that way. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. Now, the question is, I think we just tie them all from over here. We could have them do the one-way loop through around here, though. So if we do something like this, all right, let's just have a look how this would work. So if we do something like that, that would actually work. I'm gonna have to pay for a little section of that, but actually bring this in a little straighter so we have more room. There we go. Something like that, and we'll tie that in here. There we go. And at the same time, I think what we'll do is we'll tie this one in here. Or over here. There we go, something like this maybe. Yeah? That's not bad. That's not bad. So that gives us access to everything that we need, I think, over here. Okay, let's do that. So this will be our rail construction area, and we will have paths that we can actually use this train station to get people to get there. I don't think we'll be able to tie this in over here, but what we could look at is, yeah, I don't know. We'll see if we have a better approach than this, but that's going to be just fine, I think. Let's go in and activate the construction. The two pieces that I would like to pay for is this section here and that section there, because I think that's going to be really important. What we'll need to do is we will actually, let's pay for that little section there also, and now it's going to split off into two from there. What we'll need to do though is get some mixed signals going on. Something like that. At the same time, we probably will need just a chain over here. Interestingly enough, I believe this will be able to deal as a bypass. Okay, so we should be able to see construction work happen over here. Now let's quickly get some of the road connections in place that we would want to see here. So we'll do a little bit of this, get that underway, get this one underway, run a little road in here like so and tie those in. Nice. We'll get those constructions underway, and that means construction will start in all honesty over here. Ooh, look at this nice little road section done here. Is this under construction? It is in fact under construction. Probably not as rapidly under construction as we would have thought. Let's start construction works on these two guys. Nice, good stuff. We'll have to see who's working on them. I might get the Irinsky office in place here. Irinsky offices. Irinsky and Irinsky construction workers. Yep, let's get them in there. Similarly over here, let's get Irinsky industrial. No, let's get Irinsky asphalt and gravel and Irinsky construction workers in here. See how that moves. Okay, excellent. Our money is going up big time. How's this airport going along? Oh, look at that. The runway being built. Taxiways there. This is moving along really quickly. I must say, really impressed by it. How's this going? Not as quickly as I would have thought. The bridge is under construction over here. Lots of little road pieces happening. What's going on over here? Do we have a fair bit of nuclear fuel available? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Guys, this is where I think we're going to start exporting a little bit of nuclear fuel. This train is just going to park here and drop off chemicals so that we always have chemicals available. We're going to use chemicals very sparingly there, though. How many chemicals is available over here? Again, another 100 and so tons is available. So really, we are doing a decent job with it. What's going on here? Have we managed to... Oh, I forgot about this completely. This thing hasn't even been built yet. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, we don't have anybody dropping off food and stuff over here. That's a bit of a bummer. We've got people parking their cars over here. Do we have people driving up in this area to come and work here? I think it might just be a little bit far. Okay, one of the other road sections that I would like to build is this one. And I'm kind of tempted to actually just build it in like that. So if we get it a nice curve like that, that's going to get you in here fairly quickly. Yeah, I'm happy to start construction on that piece. That'll help guys from Marinsky getting up here. Potentially even allow people to go and work there with the cars and stuff. Potentially even allow that. Okay, let's quickly set up a line to export some nuclear fuel. So new vehicle line, please. Let's just say nuclear fuel export. No, export, because that's going to bring in tons of money. Okay, we'll save that one. We needed to pick it up over here. I wonder how that's going to work, actually. Pick it up over there. We can't tell it what to export, though. Let's do it on this side. Yeah, but that's going to pick up from both of these. Huh. I didn't save it. Nuclear fuel export. And save that. Okay, and save it. What does this do? Can I select what goes in here? Finished vehicles doesn't tell me anything. So that doesn't really work. Our ability to move that is going to be problematic because we can't select nuclear fuel. You have to select the vehicle piece. That is really, really interesting. We're exporting that fairly quickly over here, right? So that has got a fair bit of these guys in place. Is that thing full, or that is really interesting? How is that going to work? Unless we stop producing that altogether. Anyway, what we can do. So we've got this one. Let's just say pick it up over here, and then drop it off over there. It's going to be a little weird how that works. You're going to load and not unload, and you're going to unload and wait until you're unloaded, which is fine. That's just the standard practice. Okay, now I need to pick up a flatbed kind of type of vehicle over here. Those guys are all moving. Yeah, we're selling the cars pretty quickly. It's this guy, right? So let's do no, not new stop. Let's assign it this one. This one is called the nuclear fuel export. Let's do that. And let's start that one out. Can we tell you what to load though? Vehicles and containers. So this is the problem. It's going to load up pretty much everything that it has going for itself. Anyway, forget about that. If I go back to this, will that go back to the line that it was? Let's make sure that this is the nuclear fuel export. Yeah, let's just do that. There we go. There we go. You're on your way there, so we'll see how that works. But guys, and I think that's going to be the end of the episode. It's been a pretty good one. Managed to do a fair bit of work here. This train is doing its thing. Nice, nice. So that is working pretty well. And the airport is coming along really nicely. We're like, I'm pretty sure the next episode we'll be able to start flying in tourists from the west. Ah, another airport, another hotel is ready to go, but it doesn't have any goods to sell, so we need to sort out our distribution with that. The trees are filling in quite nicely over here. That's looking good. We do need, didn't do any work. What's going on here? What is going on here? Why are you stuck there? Oh, crap. Okay, anyway, we're gonna get rid of you. Everything probably stops when that happens. This guy doesn't bring anything along. Didn't have any workers over here because that stopped. I wonder how long that's been in place. What? Okay, there you go. You're in there now. Loading some stuff. Oh crap, this stopped all kinds of stuff here. I'm almost tempted to start running an extra section of train through here. Yeah, we probably need to do a little something like that. Let's quickly fix this. Oh, we can't get anything through here? Okay, I'll have to look at that in between episodes. But I wouldn't mind seeing that we actually export some nuclear fuel just before we go away. Oh, here's something. Something's going to happen here. You're on the export line, right? What are you picking up? That is nuclear fuel being picked up. I like it. I like it. On the export side. Oh, excellent. That works really well. Okay, guys. Let's end off this episode by seeing the run of our nuclear fuel stuff. Okay, let's do that as a bit of a screenshot, I think. Anyway, let's drive this one out to the let's follow this vehicle, and we'll take a little bit of a drive with the vehicle on the way, and I'll do that. Guys, this is going to be the end of the episode. Our glorious nation is doing really well, and we're going to export our very first nuclear fuel, and that is going to be a lot of money, I believe. A lot of money. Excellent. Driving here through the mining area that is now producing all of our steel, and then heading into our original construction materials area where we built all of our construction materials. This was the original backbone of the nation. A lot of our tall skyscrapers that we are seeing some of on the left hand side here was as a result of building that area. Driving through Morgan Valley, a small little town with a lot of traffic because it wasn't that well planned and laid out. Heading off towards Checkpoint Dandelion. Oh, actually, I'm thinking we're probably filling up with fuel before we go to Checkpoint Dandelion. Yeah, that's a bit. Just don't mind the containers there, guys. It's just a bit of nuclear fuel. And heading out to Checkpoint Dandelion, where a lot of the resources for our nation is in fact being delivered or came from. There we go. And let's quickly see if I pop out of there. How much money was that? Can I quickly have a look at that? I just want to see how much money that was. Keep doing that. In terms of exporting of resources, look at that. Look at that. Nuclear fuel, 500,000 rubles for those few containers over there. So it's really going to spike up our numbers big time over there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!